Will the market go up or down? Should you lock in or float? Find out this and more with Master of the Markets, hosted by Barry Habib of MBS Highway. Brought to you by Paramount Residential Mortgage Group.
Welcome to another edition of Master of the Markets. I'm Barry Habib at MBS Highway. This is created exclusively for NMP TV, brought to you by our good friends at PRMG. They're working for your best interest. Housing. It has been hot. We've been telling you that for a long time. A lot of naysayers out there. And we get the report last week on existing home sales. And this was a blockbuster report, team. Let me tell you, existing home sales measures closings on existing homes, not new construction. That represents about 85% of the marketplace. Now, the expectation was for the numbers to come in down 2%, but the month-over-month sales were actually up 0.7, really more than that because there was a revision to the prior month to the upside. That means that this number really would have come in a little more than 1% gain instead of a 2% loss. Now, while that's good, some of the metrics within the report were really just quite amazing. The median home price at $310,000 means that half the homes sold above it, half the homes below it. Now, that's up on a year-over-year basis by 12%. Now, when we take a look at that 12%, call it almost 13%. When we take a look at that number, that is oftentimes mistaken for appreciation. It's not appreciation. What you're seeing there is you are seeing a number that tells you half the homes were sold above it, half the homes below it. And a lot of homes above $1 million were sold, actually a 90% gain of homes sold above $1 million. On the lower scale, those are down 15%. Why? Because there's no inventory. And that brings us to the main point here. Inventory is down on a year-over-year basis by 23%. How many homes on the market? 1.07 million. That's down to a record level, leaving only 1.9 months supply. Homes are selling in 3 weeks, and that includes a lot of homes that are out there at some crazy prices that sellers are just putting out there. If your home's priced right, it's going to go really fast. Here's the other thing, is that sales on a year-over-year basis, now get this, they're up 22%. Now, how can sales be up 22% with inventory down 23%? It just shows you the strength of the housing market, and that's with home prices going up. Appreciation's around 7 to 8%. So you've got a 7 to 8% increase in price, you've got 23% less inventory, and yet they're flying off the shelves. This just kind of underscores how strong the housing market is. It's going to continue. We're going to continue to see that. Now, how about interest rates? Interest rates have come back down a little bit. We told you that they would. We said that they'd bump up a little bit, but we were reaching a peak and we thought they'd come back down. Sure enough, that's happening. We're at a precipice right now. I want you to watch 1.07 on the 10-year Treasury. We get underneath that, you're going to 1%. If we bounce higher from here, we could get back up to about 1.18, 1.19 on the 10-year Treasury. Even in the worst case scenario, if it breaks that, I don't think it's going up above about 1.25, 1.26. I think that's where we'll finally stop and see it come back down. But we might be able to see yields drop down. A lot will depend on the stock market. If stocks do pull back sometime, right? If they do pull back, what you will see is that money roll into the bond market and you'll see yields drop back down, mortgage-backed security prices increase. Now, when it comes to housing, when it comes to looking at some of the other metrics, do you know that 19% of homes were cash buyers, which means that about 25% of offers were cash, 56% multiple offers on homes? Puts you in a position where, and by the way, please make sure you keep doing your purchase business, okay? That you need to help that real estate agent to combat offers on a competing level. The best way to compete is to offer more. Does it make sense to do so? Rather than kind of putting your finger to see which way the wind's blowing and guessing, the best way to do this is to use our bid over ask tool and our AVM and the real estate report card. If you're not part of MBS Highway, don't allow yourself to be fooled right now into thinking that things are good and it's always going to stay that way. You need to think in advance. See the future before it becomes obvious. See all these companies going public? They're coming after you and your business. What you need to do is be smarter, be more prepared, and protect your business for you and your family into the future. Get on MBS Highway. Hope you guys have a great week ahead. Bye-bye.